Hey everyone, I'm Harry Collins. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I make my Reels, TikToks, YouTube Shorts, etc. in Adobe Premiere Pro. Let's check it out.
All right, so for this video, I'm just going to walk you through how I make a standard reel, kind of like this one that you're seeing now. This is not going to be a super in-depth tutorial on how to use Adobe Premiere Pro. Some of it I may go a little quick, but I do get asked quite a bit, how I edit videos, what I look for, that kind of thing. So this, again, is going to be a quick video. If this one does well, maybe I'll do a few more where I actually make the reel start to finish and really go in depth of how to make it. But for now, this is just kind of a quick example. So let's get started. So what I do first, I'm looking through my clip here. I'm trying to see which parts are either no good, either from me shaking or, losing focus or anything like that. And I'm trying to trim down as much as I can. I like to keep it around 15 seconds max if possible. So again, I'm just looking to see, initially, is this clip shaky? Do I need to stabilize it? What can I get rid of, and so forth. So once I figure out what I want to get rid of, I'm going to trim it up a little bit just by kind of using my slider here. And I'm going to take my playhead back and forth, see where all the interesting points are, and get rid of, again, what I can. So once I get it clipped down, what I'm going to do next is head up into the media here, and I'm going to right click on the clip itself, and I'm going to click auto reframe sequence. And what this is doing is it's creating a vertical video. That way, it's for Instagram or YouTube or TikTok. It gives that mobile 9:16, and enabling auto reframe sequence is Premiere is going to try to follow the subject of what it thinks you want to see. I'm going to shut that off because I want to do a custom here. What I want to do is I want to start with just the breath only, and then I want to kind of fade back into the elk's face itself. So, Adobe's not going to know that that's what I want to do, so I'm going to shut that off. The next thing I'm going to do too as well, this clip's not super shaky, but I am going to go into my effects panel down here and find the warp stabilizer and stabilize the clip, just give it that little bit extra steadiness if I can. And this does take a little bit, so I'm going to speed this part of the video up here a little. All right, so once this is finished stabilizing, I'm just going to double check that everything looks okay. And then, like I said, I want to slide the video over because I want this to start with the breath only coming out of the elk's mouth. So under my position axis here, you can click and drag this over and get my kind of negative space here and check that out. Move it over a little bit more. And that looks pretty good there. I think that's a good starting point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to toggle this position and scale on. This is going to create what's called keyframes. So what this is going to allow me to do is have it pan or scale in or out, starting at one point and ending at another, kind of the Ken Burns type effect that a lot of people do with photos. So you can create as many keyframes as you want. For this one, I'm just going to do one at the end, one at the beginning, because I want it to start at one size and one position, and I want it to end at another one. So this is going to be my ending point here. So as you can see, as I drag my playhead back, just see here, you got my two keyframes, start and beginning, and this is what it's going to look like. So as you can see, the video itself is moving over with the breath of the elk. It's kind of following that back past the elk's eye, and I started zoomed in, and as the video moves, I'm panning out. This is kind of a nice technique. It gives you a little bit more interest to your subject. And then once I'm done with that, you could just do some quick color grading. Premiere is very similar to like a Lightroom type setup, just a lot of sliders. You can do your white balance, your contrast. I like to use the curves a lot. I'm gonna make this one, a little dark because I want the breath to really be highlighted. That's, to me, is the interesting point of this video, so I want to make that kind of stand out more. You can also sharpen, you can do your vibrance or saturation if you want to. I don't really do that very much. Next, again, we're just kind of boosting shadows or, you know, adjusting the blacks, whites, highlights, all that kind of stuff. So at this point, you know, this looks good to me. This is where I would normally be finished, but we'll do a little bit more here. Let's just say, I don't know, if I wanted to maybe have this clip and then fade into like a still image. I'll kind of show you how I would do that. I'm going to bring a photo from my library here. Just grab, you know, we'll just take this one, throw it into our timeline. Okay, and then we can kind of do the same thing with the scale. We can resize it, move it to wherever we want it, type thing here. Okay, so it's gonna play the video, then show the photo. I don't want a hard cut here, so I'm just gonna go into my video transitions. I'll just do like a, let's see, we'll do a cross dissolve here. That's always kind of nice. It makes it fade from one to the other, and then it dips the black at the end. So whenever you drag a transition over a clip that you stabilized, or most of the time anyway, you're going to have to just reanalyze the warp stabilizer. Just a, you know, heads up there. So while that's finishing, let's work on the photo here. I'm going to do the same thing with the keyframes. I don't want this to just be a boring still image, so I'm going to go ahead and do the, you know, Ken Burns effect, so to speak again. You know, at the end, I'm going to have it zoom in, move over a little bit. And so we'll kind of see what that looks like from the start. It was pulled out, and now by the end of the video, it's moving in here and fades to black. Boom. All right, so once we have our finished video here, the next thing we're going to do is export it. So under the video tab here, there's a couple things I want to change. I always make sure this says match source, and I use the H.264 codec. I always click this render at maximum depth, and same with maximum render quality. And for 4K video, I tend to find for social media purposes that around 75 bit rate, you know, or anything close to that usually looks pretty good and doesn't get compressed too horribly. So we'll go ahead, we'll export that. And once everything is finished here, we'll just double check, and everything looks good. So again, this was just a really quick, kind of high level video. If you guys like this, if you think you want to see some more like this, you know, maybe a little bit more in depth, let me know in the comments. And otherwise, thanks for watching. Hope maybe you learned something or enjoyed it. All right, guys, see you on the next one.